Good morning. We are here at Fairleigh Dickinson University, Teaneck, New Jersey, at WFDU FM, one of the few radio stations which has a poet's corner. Okey Chenoweth is the poet here, and please say good morning, Okey.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Jane.
Hi there.
This is a poem about a young man who was best man at my wedding. He was a poet, and he was a scholar, and his mother had been married 5 times. It's called William David Staunton Canfield III. David thought he was a cool dude, but he wasn't. He was skinny, and he was bright, like the sun. But he was also dim, like dumb. He didn't know that no one else in the whole world reads Thomas Mann. He was so dumb that he didn't know that eventually Shakespeare wasn't going to take over the whole world. He was so dumb he didn't know that Shakespeare was always going to be a beggar except when some king took him in. David was so dumb that he didn't know that the cops who mistook him for a thug and shot him down in L.A., he was so dumb he didn't know that the poems in his pocket wouldn't be mistaken for a plan to bomb the police station. David, with his jazz and his Thomas Mann, was too dumb to live, and he didn't for very long. He didn't live as long as he was tall. He was so tall you wondered how the water got up from his roots to feed his leaves. He was so skinny you wondered how his branches export all those branches and all those names. William David, he was so smart. You wondered how all those thoughts could fill all those branches with twigs and leaves and vein. But David was so dumb you couldn't see how all those bullets could hit such a slender target. David had such a big heart, you didn't see why it didn't just keep on pumping after the bullets had riddled it. It must have been a machine gun they hit poor skinny David with. One of the bullets probably even caught the damn poems that were in his shirt pocket when he was running away from the scene. If you are tall and very skinny and your name is William David Staunton Canfield III, don't go near the scene of a crime, 'cause your pimply face will get blown over a city block of L.A., and your body will be too long to be put in a coffin, and your name will be too long to go on a tombstone, and they'll have to bury you in one of those Thomas Mann novels. And you know how sometimes boring they are, but they weren't too long for William David Staunton Canfield III. Old David would just sludge right through. Old David would say, "Listen to this." He would curl himself around a sofa or a bottle or a telephone line or a bottle of cheap blood-red wine and say, "Listen to this, Oak. Can you imagine this? Listen to this, man. This is pretty good." He would say, "Hey," he wouldn't say, "Hey, cool man," as jazz players are supposed to do. He'd say, "Hey, listen to this. This is pretty good." My name is Okey Chenoweth. I live at 55 Andrew Avenue, Oakland, New Jersey. I was born on Log Lick Run, which is 7.5 miles from Elkins, West Virginia, in 1929. And it was like living in early America there at that time. There was no electricity. We went by oil lamps, and we couldn't see our nearest neighbor. So at night you wouldn't see a light. You just look up and see all the stars. So we had a lot of time to think and to read and all sorts of things. And whenever we would have the lights would go off, I'd have a flashlight and I'd read under the covers at night. I had a particularly good friend who was a calf, and my brother and I used to hook her up to a sled. We'd make a harness out of rope and put them on her, and she would pull us around in the snow. I did a lot of dreaming about places like Brooklyn, New York, where there were some people and some wild things going on in the street that maybe I could see and be a part of. And that has been the story of my life, because in my 20s I was trying to figure out whether to be a teacher, a writer, an actor, a director. And in my 30s, I said, I'm going to do them all. And that's where I became happy about my life. I, of course, love teaching, and I've done that for 1,000 years. But I've loved acting. I've loved writing. I don't think I would have been happy as a teacher if I couldn't have continued to do those other things that I'd always wanted to do as I did them. Don't waste the day thinking about the night, though the coming guests be unbearably exciting, though they light up all your trees, though they ring all your bells, though they repave Main Street and line it with litter bucket. The night will come, and with it stars, but you will have missed the dawn, flowers on the lawn, the mailman, epiphanies of solitude, and grass green as love, snow slides, wind falls, vapors rising, absolute frost, ultimate ice, and tumbling sunbathers who allow oceans to touch them where people never can.